Hello, welcome to the class. Here we will discuss the very important one as far as practical and commercial uses are concerned. The type of receiver known as super heterodyne receiver. The whole lecture consists of principle and discussion about super heterodyne receiver and three important characteristics of super heterodyne receiver. So, first of all, let us discuss the super heterodyne receiver with the help of the block diagram. We have already studied TRF receiver, and if we compare this block diagram of super heterodyne receiver with the block diagram of TRF receiver, we find that there are three new blocks added in the super heterodyne receiver. Those are mixer, IF amplifier and local oscillator. The RF stage, detector and audio and power amplifiers along with speaker or loudspeaker are the remaining blocks. Let us discuss the super heterodyne principle and working of the receiver along with the details and functioning of each block. We have seen that the TRF receiver has three important drawbacks, that is instability of gain, variation in bandwidth and poor selectivity, due to which TRF receiver is not used in practical purposes. It becomes obsolete as far as commercial use is concerned. All these problems, serious problems in the TRF receiver, are solved in the super heterodyne receiver by using a simple technique of converting each and every selected RF signal to a fixed lower frequency signal known as IF or intermediate frequency. Important to note that though every incoming selected RF signal is converted to a fixed lower frequency signal, that is called as intermediate frequency or IF, but the IF has same modulation as that of the original incoming carrier frequency. So there is no change in modulation, type of modulation and depth of modulation of the incoming carrier frequency due to its conversion to IF or intermediate frequency. So after converting the selected radio frequency into IF, the whole working of the receiver is at this IF or intermediate frequency. That means the IF signal is amplified, detected and after detection or demodulation it is converted into modulating frequency. In this way, since all blocks including detector and amplifier are working at a single frequency, that is single lower frequency, that is IF, the possibility of oscillation and instability is minimized. Also, the required Q factor is constant since the receiver is working as a constant IF frequency for all incoming signals. We have seen that in case of TRF signal, the bandwidth, the Q factor is not constant. Q factor changes with the incoming frequency, due to which bandwidth requirement of the receiver is changed. This problem is because the TRF receiver is working at the incoming frequency which changes with the desired tuning, which changes with the incoming channel. But here, since the receiver is working at a single constant lower frequency, that is IF, so Q factor is constant and there is no change of Q factor, and there is a constant requirement of bandwidth. Okay. No change of Q factor with the incoming frequency. Thus, super heterodyne radio receiver solves all the problems associated with TRF receiver, that is instability or possibility of oscillation and variation of Q factor. All these problems are solved by a simple solution, that is conversion of incoming frequency, all incoming frequencies or every incoming frequency into a lower frequency called as intermediate frequency or simply IF. Now let us look at the operation. So as we have seen in the block diagram, there are 3 additional blocks as compared to TRF receiver, and those are mixer, to which on the lower side connected block, that is local oscillator, and after mixer the amplifier, that is called as IF amplifier, that means intermediate frequency amplifier. So mixer, local oscillator and IF amplifier, these are the 3 additional blocks added to the TRF receiver in order to make it a super heterodyne receiver. The very first stage, first block is again RF amplifier. In TRF also it was RF amplifier. So RF amplifier, the job of RF amplifier is to select the signal and reject all unwanted signal and reduce, in this way reduce the effect of noise. So here, as shown in the block diagram, Fs is the signal frequency which is selected and came at the output of the RF amplifier. So the RF amplifier selects the desired signal of frequency Fs and amplify it and give it to the next block. And what is next block? It is a mixer. So there are 2 signals given to mixer, that is one from RF amplifier, one signal of frequency Fs, that is signal frequency from RF amplifier, and the other frequency FO from a local oscillator, that is situated in the receiver. These two signals of frequency Fs and Fo are mixed together to produce the intermediate frequency F. Thus, If is equal to Fo minus Fs, oscillator frequency minus signal frequency, that is called as If. It is a single lower frequency, intermediate, known as If or intermediate frequency. This constant frequency difference is maintained between local oscillator and RF stages through a capacitance tuning, and that is called as ganged tuning, where all capacitors are ganged together and operate in unison by a single control knob provided towards the outside of the receiver. So when we tune the receiver to a frequency Fs, automatically we tune three different devices, electronic circuit, that is RF stage, local oscillator and frequency, and the incoming signal frequency Fs is converted into If, which is equal to Fo minus Fs. Then the next stage is the next block after the mixer is IF amplifier. IF amplifier amplifies the signal given by the mixer, which is at a frequency, lower frequency, that is IF, intermediate frequency. So this IF signal is amplified by the specific amplifier known as IF amplifier. This IF amplifier consisting of transformer coupled amplifiers and provides most of the gain and bandwidth requirement of the receiver. Thus, sensitivity and selectivity of the receiver depends upon IF amplifier, and since it works at a constant single frequency, the sensitivity and selectivity of the receiver do not change much with the change in the incoming frequency. So sensitivity and selectivity is unchanged due to the IF amplifier. Next stage is detector or demodulator. The job of detector is to detect or demodulate the amplified IF signal in order to recover the original modulating signal, which is at audio frequency. So at the output of detector we have modulating signal or audio frequency signal. This signal is provided to the next stage, that is audio and power amplifier. It amplifies the record, that means audio signal, which is weak, and after power amplifying this audio signal, it is given to the last block, that is loudspeaker or simple speaker. Now another important concept here, signal, is AGC, the long form of which is automatic gain control. If you are looking at the block diagram, you will find that AGC is the signal taken from detector and it is provided to RF and IF amplifier. What is this AGC? AGC means automatic gain control. That means it is used to control the gain of RF and IF amplifier. It is simply the DC voltage which is given by the detector and it is fed to the RF and IF amplifier, and it controls the gain of RF and IF amplifier to maintain a constant output voltage level, even if the signal level at the input is fluctuating. So when incoming signal level, voltage level of the incoming signal is fluctuating due to some reason, reduced or increased, then also the gain of RF and amplifier stages or voltage level is maintained constant with this AGC, that is called as automatic control. So in this way, super heterodyne receiver works on the principle of super heterodyning. And what is principle of super heterodyning? Principle of super heterodyning means simply converting each and every incoming signal frequency into a constant lower frequency, that is called as intermediate frequency. And this intermediate frequency is simply the difference of Fs and Fo, that is Fs minus Fo, where Fs is signal frequency and Fo is the constant local oscillator. Fo is the frequency of a local oscillator which is provided. Okay, and the difference is maintained by using a specific circuit, electronic circuit, that is called as mixer. In this way, all stages, all the blocks, that is amplifier, detector, power, then RF amplifier, etc., will work at a constant frequency, that is called as intermediate frequency or IF. Accordingly, the stability in gain and no variation of bandwidth is obtained in case of super heterodyne receiver. Okay, so this is the super heterodyne principle of super heterodyne. Now let us look at the three important characteristics of super heterodyne receiver, out of which first one is sensitivity. So these three important characteristics of any radio receiver are sensitivity, number one, number two, selectivity, and number three, fidelity. These characteristics are useful and helpful in judging the performance of a radio receiver. The first one is sensitivity. What is sensitivity? It is simply ability of a radio receiver to amplify weak signals. If your radio receiver is more sensitive, it should amplify the weakest signal at the input. Thus, it is defined in terms of input voltage that must be applied at the input of the receiver to obtain standard output power. The sensitivity is thus measured in microvolt. See how weak signal is provided. It is in the 10 raised to minus 6 of volt, or simply in decibel, and it is always below 1 volt. So, in order to understand the sensitivity of a radio receiver, a curve is plotted, and that is called as sensitivity curve. Okay, so we will see a curve, one sensitivity curve in the next coming slide. It is plotted for the medium wave band of the frequency. So the amplitude modulated frequencies are divided into two bands, that is medium wave and short wave. Short wave is for greater than 1600 kilohertz, and below 1600 kilohertz, 500 to 1600 kilohertz, it is medium wave. So for medium wave we have plotted, and let us look at this sensitivity curve. As I have told to you, this is the sensitivity curve plotted for the medium wave frequencies, and you will find that the frequencies along x-axis are in between 1600 to 1400 kilohertz. Along y-axis, the values of sensitivities are there, and these are in the units of microvolt. Of course, less than 1 volt. A typical sensitivity curve is of this kind, as shown in this figure. Typical sensitivity curve of a radio receiver, and you will find that the sensitivity is highest, sensitivity is lowest at some frequency, and that frequency is equal to 850 kilohertz. A dip is there in the curve. That means receiver is possessing lowest sensitivity, means it is most sensitive at the frequency, that is 850 kilohertz. It clearly means that a receiver with lower sensitivity for a given frequency possesses better ability to amplify weak signal. So, if there are, for example, two receivers, receiver A and receiver B. Receiver A has sensitivity 10, for example, say 11, and receiver B has sensitivity 50. So, which one is more sensitive? The receiver with lower value of sensitivity, that is 11 microvolt, is more sensitive. So, less will be the value of sensitivity, more will be the more will be the receiver sensitive. That means it has more ability to amplify with signal. So, for better quality of a receiver, it should have lower value of sensitivity at the given frequency. So, it was the discussion about sensitivity. Next important parameter from the three parameters, that is sensitivity, selectivity and fidelity, is the selectivity. Selectivity of a radio receiver is its ability to reject unwanted signals, and the selectivity is of a radio receiver is expressed in terms of a curve, and one type of typical selectivity curve is shown in this figure. You will find that the receiver offers a minimum rejection at 950 kilohertz of the frequency. Okay. The converted values are taken along x-axis, so you will find 0 at 950 kilohertz, which is a tuned frequency. Okay, for example, the receiver is tuned at 950 kilohertz. Then you will find that at 950 kilohertz, the receiver offers a minimum rejection. And when frequency is increases or reduces, then that means when frequency deviates from 950 kilohertz on both sides, upper side as well as lower side, the rejection increases. Okay, and that means the frequencies other than 950 kilohertz are not accepted by the receiver, and they are rejected. Okay, so the better rejection is possessed, that means better selectivity. Better rejection for all unwanted frequencies other than that for which the receiver is tuned over. That means the better selectivity. As we have seen that the selectivity and sensitivity both are of a super heterodyne receiver are determined by the frequency response characteristics of this is the another important characteristics, that is selectivity. So sensitivity, selectivity, and here the third one, that is fidelity. What is fidelity? Fidelity is ability of the receiver to produce all modulating frequencies, which are basically the audio frequencies, equally well. It means the fidelity is related with the modulating frequency or audio frequency. And what is the block related with audio frequency? It is the audio frequency amplifier. So, fidelity of a receiver depends upon the frequency response of the AF or audio frequency amplifier. Okay. As it was the selectivity that depends upon the IF amplifier, here fidelity depends upon the frequency response of the AF amplifier. The typical fidelity curve is of a receiver is shown in this figure, where audio frequencies are taken various audio frequencies are taken along x-axis, and receiver output in decibels is taken along y-axis. So you will find that high fidelity is obtained, and for high fidelity there is minimum attenuation. For highest fidelity, the curve is totally flat. High value of fidelity curve is flat. Okay, that means it converts that much or highest range of audio frequencies faithfully. Okay, amplify or reproduce highest range of frequency faithfully. So basically, there should be a minimum attenuation at high frequency, and it should be flat at high frequency. At high receiver output of high fidelity. At high fidelity, the curve should be flat. So flat frequency response over a wide range of audio frequency is necessary, and it is a good fidelity curve for the receiver. So in this way, we study three different characteristics which are important for any receiver, and that is sensitivity, selectivity, and fidelity. So, in all, we started with the super heterodyne receiver by comparing with the TRF receiver. We already studied. We find that all the drawbacks are overcome in a single technique of super heterodynamic, that is converting each incoming frequency into a single lower frequency, that is called as intermediate frequency. All blocks, that is mixer, detector, all these stages works at this single lower frequency, that is higher frequency, and hence instability of gain, variation of Q factor, and adjacent poor rejection, poor rejection of adjacent channels. All three drawbacks are overcome in case of super heterodyne receiver. Then we studied the three important characteristics, that is sensitivity, selectivity, and fidelity, where fidelity stands for the audio frequency performance, and sensitivity stands for variation of gain, and selectivity stands for rejection of the unwanted channels. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your patience. Thank you very much.